Libya's rival House of Representatives Parliament was founded after the largely boycotted national election which took place on June 25, 2014. The elections were called to take place after Khalifa Haftar, a former general who served under former autocrat Muamar Gaddafi, ordered the disbanding of the General National Council on February 14th. His announcement was followed by a full-scale air and ground campaign to overthrow the GNC in May, though the effort ultimately failed. The election to replace the incumbent GNC, which was founded in 2012 with the support of the United Nations, EU and NATO, was announced by the body to avoid further violence. However, the elections were largely boycotted, with only 630,000 of Libya's eligible voters, totaling a marginal 18%, actually taking part in the elections. Due to the boycott, the voter turnout was staggeringly lower than the 3.4 million voters who attended the elections that found the GNC. And to the successful nature of the boycott, the GNC refused to disband as calls were made for the continuation of the Assembly's regular operations. Following failure to capture control of Libya by force and the GNC's refusal to accept the results of the shunned elections, the newly founded House of Representatives and Haftar set up base on the Egyptian border in the town of Tobruk. In August, they launched Operation Dignity, a military campaign aimed at capturing Libya's three largest cities, Benghazi, Misrata and Tripoli, by force. Clashes soon erupted in Benghazi and on the suburbs of Tripoli as Haftar's militia, the self-declared Libyan National Army, and its allied Zintan militia began attacks on Benghazi and Tripoli's suburbs. They were aided in their efforts as warplanes from Egypt and the United Arab Emirates conducted airstrikes on Tripoli's airports, preventing the aerial defences of the cities. Militias still allied with Tripoli government rallied together to form the Dawn Alliance, as factions that fought together to overthrow Gaddafi in 2011 turned on one another, and in November, the country's Supreme Court deemed that the elections and their results were illegal and ordered the disbanding of the HOR, a call which unheeded. The United Nations began a series of dialogues aimed at joining the two rival assemblies. Starting in September, the UN support mission in Libya began undertaking a series of talks aimed at finding a diplomatic solution to the quickly decaying situation in the country. The integrity talks came under continuous threat as Haftar's forces conducted airstrikes on airports as Tripoli's delegations attempted to travel to the talks on multiple occasions despite ongoing ceasefire agreements between the HOR and GNC. In April, the talks began bearing fruit as local Libyan districts across the country agreed to form the framework of which to build a new federal state for the country. On June 10th, the leaders of the GNC, its allied Misratan Council, and the HOR met for the very first time in Berlin. The talks were said to have concluded on a positive note, and a UN delegation is currently scrambling around the country looking to tie up loose ends to finalize the ongoing conflict before the end of the month of Ramadan.